welcome back to our channel. Today we are coming at you with another podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to talk to you guys about haunted dolls, different haunted dolls, and a legend that has to do with dolls. Me and Lise have been talking about haunted dolls for a little bit. There's a reason why they're so creepy. They have eyes, like empty eyes that look like they're looking at you. We have movies about dolls that come alive. It's a phenomenon that we ourselves are interested in, and we know that it's a big thing in society with the haunted dolls and the evil dolls and things like that. So we have some stories of true stories that contain evil dolls or creepy dolls, if you want to call it that. Lise, do you have a story for us about a doll?
Yes, I do. While I was doing research, I searched for some videos on haunted dolls on YouTube. I came across a female named Kelsey Davies, and she bought a haunted doll on eBay. Sometimes we think haunted dolls are an isolated thing. It's hard to get one. But I mean, she bought her doll right off of eBay, just from a click away on her computer or phone. And she had an interesting story with this doll. This doll has some kind of history to it. She got information from a psychic, also from other paranormal devices, just to get info and background on this doll. But according to Kelsey Davies, she said that this doll does not like to be photographed or recorded without its permission. And if you do, something negative will happen. There's reports, she said, that the footage has been deleted. It's been tampered with, and she had asked the doll if she had something to do with it, and she said yes, because they did not get her permission. So that was an interesting story I found on YouTube, and there's all different kind of videos you can find on YouTube where people have haunted dolls. This one man claimed that he bought a haunted doll. His dog died right after, his girlfriend left him, and he just had bad luck after that. So who knows if that's a coincidence or, the doll had something to do with it. But it is really interesting.
I think it's crazy how you can do an Etsy search or an eBay search and find all kinds of dolls that are supposedly haunted or cursed, and you can buy them. I can see if people want to collect certain kind of dolls or whatever the case may be, but I just can't wrap my head around why anyone would want to buy a cursed doll. Like, why would you want to have that in your home, That's the weirdest.
I think the owner might just be attracted to it, because that's what Kelsey Davies was saying. Something just attracted her to this doll, and she wanted it so bad. So there might be some kind of connection that the owner has with the doll.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I'd be going on eBay anytime soon to purchase a haunted doll. How about you?
You know what? I think it's really cool to have a haunted doll, because I mean, I never came across one before. Even with our paranormal investigating, we went to different spots, they had dolls. We don't know, we never really heard anything from a doll or something moved from a doll. But I think it would be cool, as long as it's not trying to kill me.
Exactly. As long as there's no curses upon our lives, I think it'd be cool to kind of investigate it with their permission, of course.
Right. Yeah. What do you have, Mags? What did you find in your research?
Well, my story is about a doll that it's kind of an older story, so back in the early 1900s kind of thing. I'm going to talk about Robert the doll. He's kind of a popular doll that's heard of around, and I just want to kind of touch on the story and where he comes from, and the little stories that are around him. So Robert the doll was a doll that was handmade. It was owned by Robert Eugene Otto, I believe his name was. Doll was given to him by a servant that was working for his family. It's handmade. It was about 3 feet tall. It had a little sailor's outfit. Robert loved this doll. He was inseparable from him. He would have him at the dinner table. He would talk to him. He would take him everywhere. The parents, they were good with him having the doll. You know, they just thought it was kind of like an imaginary friend type thing. A little soon after that Robert got the doll and the parents heard him talking to the doll, they started hearing replies. If Robert were having some kind of conversation with, the doll's name is also Robert. So if little Robert was talking to the doll Robert, they would start hearing replies. And it's not like a little kid would be playing and like making a different voice for the doll. It would be much deeper, a much deeper voice that they were hearing in the other room. So they kind of got suspicious, a little creeped out by it. A little soon after that, they started seeing Robert the doll moving. They would leave him in one spot, he would be in another. Or they would look on the side of the corner of their eye and see something move. They would go in the room and Robert the doll would be in there. So it started getting pretty creepy. The last straw was one night Robert started screaming in his sleep. The parents wake up, go in his room. They go in there, furniture is flipped all over the place, and the room is an array. Robert the doll is right there, and the child just says that Robert did it. The parents had enough at that point. They locked the doll up in the attic, never to let him out. After they locked him up in the attic, they started hearing footsteps and running up in the attic after that. Yes, very creepy. The parents soon moved away from that home. Robert, the little boy, moved away from the home, didn't take the doll with him or anything like that. Robert did grow up. He ended up inheriting his childhood home where Robert was at. And at this point, he had a wife, he had family and everything. So he inherited the home, and like you were saying earlier, Lise, there's just an attraction and a attachment, I guess, to certain kind of dolls. And Robert definitely had this one because he went up in the attic and he took him out. A little after that, it seemed like Robert was full of rage, like he was just a different person, his wife said, and she too had enough. So Robert the doll was then given to a museum in Key West, Florida, Fort East Matilo Museum in Florida. So if anyone wants to go visit, Robert does remain there. They did put him in a plastic case so people can come visit or see the attraction. He's now a ghost tour at this museum. He's now an attraction. People can go see him. But a lot of people, visitors, they get a little disrespectful sometimes, make fun and do things like that, and then find themselves cursed after their visit with Robert. So the people at the Key West Museum say that Robert doesn't get fan mail, but he gets apologies from these people who did disrespect him. So he can stop a hex on them or the curse or whatever he has on them. So if you want to go visit Robert the doll, he's still there. You just got to be extremely respectful so he doesn't curse you. That's just one of the stories that I know about. It's pretty creepy. Like,
wow, so they have to write him letters, Max?
What's that?
They have to write him letters of apology?
Yes. The workers at the museum get more letters of apologies to Robert because, some people aren't thinking. They don't believe in the curse. They don't believe in, things like that. And then they start making fun or doing crazy things. And apparently Robert knows, and these people start having misfortunes happen to them at home. And then the light bulb clicks. They're like, it has to be this. So they write apologies to the doll.
Okay, so probably the staff reads it to the doll, and then he...
Yeah.
We might
I
accept them.
believe, if I'm not mistaken, in the case that he's in, they'll put the letter in there with him.
Oh, wow.
If you guys want to check it out, all you got to do is look up Robert the Doll. You'll see his picture. He's handmade. I don't know if I mentioned, but um, he was given to young Robert by a servant that worked for his parents or his family. And the reason why they think this doll is haunted, I don't think I mentioned this, is because that particular servant got fired for doing voodoo. So they think that maybe they did voodoo on the doll before they left, and because they were mad because they got fired. So that's the rumor on why he's coming to life and all this stuff, and doing curses and things like that. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. I mean, some people say dolls are haunted, Max. You know, some people may ask, why do items as dolls become haunted? And that was one of them. Some believe that adults and children often form strong emotional bonds to dolls, and this energy is so strong that it can be transferred into their doll when they pass, and that's called residual energy. Others say dolls can become haunted when a spirit is attracted to the owner of a doll and it wants to become closer, so they enter into the doll. And then others say when a person dies and has not made a full transition to the afterlife, they can take refuge in something like a doll. And another thing people say is that dolls can become haunted from spells by the living when they summon spirits into a doll, just like Maggie was saying. So
Yeah, it's crazy how dolls kind of become vessels in a way for the spirit realm or a loved one or whatever the case is. Um, I think that's why a lot of people are afraid of dolls, or, you know, are creeped out by them, because they can be used as vessels, and anything is possible with dolls. And they kind of take the form of a human. They have the eyes, they have the face, they have all of that. And just to see something small walking around or talking or whatever, it is pretty creepy. So I get it.
And as you were saying, Maggie, with Robert the doll, he did inspire Chucky, the movie.
Oh, he did.
That's what I learned just the other
Oh,
day.
wow. That's
Except I don't
awesome.
think Robert the doll was out trying to kill people like Chucky.
No, I don't think so. But it makes sense, because in the movie um there was some kind of voodoo on him, right? That's why he came to life.
I think so. I don't remember. I watched all the Chuckies and I don't remember.
I think that's what happened. Lisa, I have another story about dolls. It's not really particularly about a certain doll, but it does have a creepy aspect of dolls. It's called The Story of Isla de Munecas, Island of the Dolls, and it's in Mexico City. The story goes that there was a man named Don Julian Santabarrera, and he was a older man. He had a wife and kid and everything like that, but some say that his mind wasn't all there. He was kind of mentally challenged. He wasn't of sound mind. So one day, out of the blue, he abandons his wife and child to go live on an island close by the lake and the river, close to his town. And he lived there for a while, and then unfortunately one day he saw that there was a little girl who drowned next to his house on this island. He saw her body floating in the river, and right next to her was her doll. He picked up this doll and he hung it from a tree to appease the little girl's spirit if she was still there. Now, it didn't stop there, because he wasn't of sound mind. this particular event kind of ruled his life for the rest of his life. For the next 50 years, Don Julian would find random dolls, whether they're floating in the river, whether he found them, I don't know, exploring. He would take these dolls and hang them from the trees, no matter what condition they were. They can be so dirty, they can be headless, they can be just the torsos, they can just be like the body parts of the dolls. They would be hung in trees all around, and this took over his life. The thing about it is no one knows if Don Julian actually did see a little girl that died. There's some speculation on whether he, just went crazy one day and started doing this, and there was never a little girl. But the sad part about it is that Don Julian did die in the exact same way that he said he saw the girl die. He drowned in the river next to his home. And this has now become a tourist spot because the dolls are still there. All billions and billions of dolls that are on that island where he hung them up, they're still there, just hanging. And now it's a tourist spot, so you can go down that river and they'll stop there for you. You can take pictures. And some people even hang their own dolls in memory of Don Julian, so as tribute. So I don't know if Don Julian saw the little girl ghost and just kind of started hanging up dolls to appease her spirit, or if he was just, I don't know, maybe traumatized by the experience, and that's what made him feel better. But if you look at these pictures, the island of the dolls, it's pretty creepy. They're all hanging from trees, headless ones, just arms, dirty ones with no eyes. They're all over the place. But it's an interesting story because we don't know if that little girl exists, but what we do know is that Don Julian existed, and all these dolls still exist to this day. So it's a pretty creepy sight if you see it.
Yeah, and I saw a video, Maggie, of the original doll that that supposedly the little girl had, the one that drowned. It doesn't have any hands or feet. It's just like dangling. It looks like it was just shredded. The
Wow.
Hands and feet were shredded. So yeah, I don't think any of those dolls are for sale, are they?
I don't think so. I think a lot of them are just what he hung up, and a lot of them are from the tourists that come by and just hang them for him or the little girl. It's crazy how these sites, like from his imagination, built that little island area, and now it's a tourist spot because of the way it looks. And I don't think it's a tourist spot because it's beautiful. I think it's a tourist spot because it's a pretty creepy place to be. So I don't know. I think he did see her. I think it was a little traumatic for him, so he started doing that. But to each their own.
Yeah, and I could imagine, like, if they were selling the original doll, it probably would cost more than these, I don't know, these pristine Victorian dolls. I could imagine
absolutely.
It would be a high price because it holds so much value and history, even though the way it looks.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be looking into buying it though.
No way.
No offense to the doll. Yeah, so many people are coming out and saying that they have haunted dolls. I mean, you can look all over YouTube. It's kind of like a trend now for the past few years. And it started back in the 1800s when dolls were first made. And the history goes that it would teach little girls how to sew. That's when they started to first make dolls. And then it wasn't just for females, also the boys, like Maggie was saying, Robert the doll was owned by a boy. So it wasn't just for girls at that time in the 1800s. And then some people just believe with the residual energy that these dolls can become haunted. If the owner had negative energy, they believe that energy can be transferred into the doll. And that's why some dolls are actually locked up. Just like the famous paranormal researchers, Edward and Lorraine, Warren, they had haunted dolls that they believed were so cursed that they had to lock them up and keep them away from people. So this isn't just an isolated event. There's dolls out there that some believe can cause major harm to people. So just be cautious, guys. If you go on eBay and decide to order a haunted doll, please do some research on it. And I wish you guys the best, because I'm not out trying to order haunted dolls. I'd rather go to a spot, Maggie, that's haunted and investigate haunted dolls, but I wouldn't want one actually in my home.
Same here. I feel like if we go investigate it, ask for a respectful investigation from the doll, it'll be good. I am not going to have a doll that's haunted live with me. There's no way.
Yeah. I watched one video, Maggie, where this guy was in a bedroom and he went to sleep with a night vision camera on and a doll, a supposedly haunted doll right next to him.
Oh, no.
He said things were moving, and I don't know. So yeah,
Sure,
if you guys are interested, just jump on YouTube, do some research, you'll find it.
Yeah, there's quite a few stories on haunted dolls. It looks like a lot of people have experiences, and like what Lisa was saying, there's a few reasons for it too. You know, spirit of loved ones, people putting voodoo in the doll, their vessels, they're using them as vessels. So be careful, don't go buying any haunted dolls, and if you go visit a haunted doll that's in a case somewhere, be respectful. There's a reason why they're in a case. That's all we got for you today, guys. I hope you loved our discussion on haunted dolls. Please like and subscribe. We are coming back at you with some more stuff, some interesting subjects. Please let us know down below what you would like for us to talk about. And hopefully we'll get some investigations going quick so you'll see us live and in action soon. Right, Lise?
Oh, yeah. Not going anywhere, guys. So just be prepared. There's going to be some really wild stuff coming out soon.
Yes. Stay tuned, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.